Welcome to the live stream. Welcome to the live stream. My good name is Wamboy. Thank you so much for being here. Yesterday, I streamed for 5 hours at night, 2 hours during the day. Oh my god, my throat. But you know what? We are here for all of that. Cornelius Moore says, "Good morning, beautiful. Good morning to you." I can already tell. I know the name Moore is American. Okay, where are you watching me from? How are you doing? Uh, welcome to the live stream. Wow, I'm just getting started here. My throat feels sore because yesterday I went like 5 hours. Can you imagine? Anyway, my good name is Wamboy. I was born and raised in Kenya. Uh, ooh, my people, you're coming back. Thomas, good afternoon, Germany. Yay, how are you doing? Oh, today you're early. I just started, like, I just hit the go live button and you're here. Okay, that's nice. How is your day going? How is your morning for those of you who are just waking up? How is your day going for those of you out here? It's afternoon. It's 2:59 p.m. out here. Uh, yeah, today I'm literally on time. You know, Kenyans, one thing about Kenyans, we never keep time. So me being 1 minute early is literally something. I always show up 20 minutes late. Late is on time, and there's no hurry in Africa. It's very hot in my area outside. Okay, it's so cold. Honestly, I am just showing up here uh, without a sweater just for a minute to entice you guys a little bit, and then I'm gonna put my sweater on. Okay, what's the temperatures? What's the temperatures out there? Uh, convert 72 degrees right here is my laptop. I bought it, bought it from the US, so it says the temperatures in Fahrenheit. It's 72 degrees Fahrenheit, but honestly it's cold. Like, feels cold to me. Ugh. Okay, so today we are gonna be having, today I kind of like, yeah, I want us to try like a little bit of everything. uh yeah, but okay. Full sunshine, blue sky. God, take me, teleport me to such a place right now because honestly, it's so cold. So cold. Richard, welcome here. Thank you so much, guys, for joining. Actually, like the live stream first of all. Richard says, "Greetings from sunny Northeast Ohio, United States of America." My darling. Oh my, to work, buddy. It's been great to see you and hear you as I start my day. Have an amazing day, buddy. Oh, have a good day. Okay. Sunny. It's already sunny and you guys are just waking up and you're already saying it's sunny. Ooh, interesting. Okay. Honestly, like I can't keep pretending. Let me just wear a sweater. Is it a sweater or like trench coat? It's so cold. Okay, maybe it's just me feeling cold. Also, when you live in like an apartment with a lot of floors, it becomes so cold. I don't know why. Okay, guys, before you leave, actually, Richard, before you leave, like the live stream. Okay, like the live stream, with guys. Okay, let's just get started. Let me write like the question on the screen. Not question, like it's literally like you're gonna start maybe with a little bit of like game and all of that. Oh God. Okay. Okay, up to you. I would like to, because God is so cold here. Why is this thing refusing to like? Okay, this thing have decided to sit on my face. Okay, one has to go. One has to go. Air conditioning, Wi-Fi, hot showers. One has to go. Which one? Which one has to go? One has to go. Air conditioning, Wi-Fi, hot showers. Yeah, I kind of need to put on some socks, guys. It's really cold. Air conditioning, Wi-Fi, hot showers. One has to go. Let's see. Let's see. One has to go. Me, air conditioning, Wi-Fi, hot showers. One has to go. Air conditioning. I have never had air conditioning in my whole entire life. No air conditioning. Like, if it's cold, it's cold. If it's hot, it's hot. Never had air conditioning in my life. Apart from a time when I went to visit Mombasa for 3 weeks. That's the only time that I've ever felt like I need air conditioning. But otherwise, yeah, without a doubt, air conditioning. Take it. I don't need it. Okay, for me it's air conditioning. Let me know yours. Anyway, guys, I need to wear some socks. It's so cold. Maybe it's so cold to me. This question is like bothering me. Why is it all over my face? Yes, sometimes you just need to put on a pair of socks. Audrey says, how did you win? Oh, how did I win? What does that mean? Or did you type it? Let me check on the laptop. I don't know. I don't understand. Air conditioning, Wi-Fi, hot showers. One has to go. Which one are you allowing to go? We just said air conditioning. Like, but maybe because here in Africa, even though people think that like Africa is just hot desert and all of that, but honestly, these really cold places, like where I've always lived, it's always been cold. Uh, Doma says, Odori, please rephrase your questions. Also, like my hand is really tight. Honestly, I'm feeling pain on this hand because of always lifting the laptop when I'm going live. So honestly, today I just don't want to use the laptop. Please type in English. I would really appreciate if you type in English because the thing is gonna translate and I'm not gonna understand you. Thank you for your understanding because my arm is really aching because of lifting the laptop every time. Loma says hot shower, high speed Wi-Fi. Important, but air conditioning isn't that important to me. A quiet environment matters more. But see, think about it, like when you're in this place that gets really hot, like during summer, is it an option? Is air conditioning like okay? Or maybe you would just get a fan. How would you handle the heat? Because and also like places like the US, it seems like you literally have to have a heater in the house, or maybe it's a standard that they have, you know. I don't know. How do you handle the especially when it's hot or when it's extremely cold winter? Ash says air conditioning. Air conditioning is going. How are you doing, Ash? Welcome back. Okay, you don't need the air conditioning. Me too. Like honestly, I didn't even think twice. Like air conditioning done. God, like I have never like right now it's really cold. What did I do? I put on a trench coat, put on some socks, and I kind of feel a little bit warm. If it gets cold, I cover myself. That's how I deal with cold. If it's really hot, you just remove clothes and stay naked. I live in the mountains, okay, and of course the mountains, but the mountains can really get cold. That's why you need heating, maybe. Ash says, "Oh, you have seasons in India? Do you have seasons like? Is it because here in Africa, I don't know. South Africa they have seasons, but I think most of other African places is just we don't have seasons. We just have the hot. Okay, we don't have summer, winter, whatever, spring. No, we just have hot season, cold season. Done. Like hot season, rainy season. That's what we have." Nova says, "My house, okay, even in hot summer around 30 to 40 degrees Celsius, I drink hot tea." Wow. Okay, that's bold. Nova says, "My house doesn't heat up that quickly from the sun." What do you guys use to build houses in Germany? Like, because maybe because the US they use wood. Maybe that's why it really gets like they have to have air conditioning. What do you use to build houses in Germany? Like, for example, out here we use bricks and stones, but not everybody. As okay, so brick houses and stone houses are mostly for the rich people. So for example, in my village we have a house that is built out of wood, but it's not that decent anyway, but it's just built out of wood, so which means it doesn't keep cold away, and it also it's always cold inside. Doma says, okay, air conditioning, Wi-Fi, hot showers. Wi-Fi, but why didn't anyone say Wi-Fi? I think in this world, like, nobody can live without internet. Okay. Next, okay, next one. Let's see. Let's go with this one. I need internet for work. Okay, you need internet for work. Okay, interesting. What if you were not working? What if you're not using internet for work? Like it wasn't part of the work. Would you still let the internet go, or it has to stay? Lama says our houses are well insulated against both heat and cold and heat. You use okay. So do you use bricks or do you use timber, wood? Okay, next one. I'll sleep. Oh wow. I don't care much about internet. Oh really? Okay, okay. Next one. Oh my god, the thing where I can be able to type the question without using the laptop is gone. I have now to type use. Anyway, I think I need to buy like a working desk or something. Holding this laptop is really heavy. But anyway, let me type the next one. Ash says, but without internet, you wouldn't be asking and I wouldn't be answering. Okay, I see that. Yeah, that's it. Honestly, I think right now I feel like internet is a basic need, to be really honest, because, but maybe it's really not a basic need, but wow. I just feel like it's way more than we are willing to admit. Like, think about it. If you didn't have internet right now, you would be somewhere, let's say, okay, maybe you would be at peace, I don't know, but the fact that now we know a world with internet, how can you live a world without? Okay, next question. I'm typing. Uh-huh. Okay, WhatsApp, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. One has to go. Alvin Jones, hi, good to see you. Welcome back. How are you doing? Good morning. What's the time where you are at? It feels weird telling people good morning and it's good afternoon here. I'm good, good. TikTok is already banned here. Really? No way. I always see Americans creating videos. I always watch videos from Americans. Really? Is it really banned? Wow. Okay, WhatsApp, YouTube. One has to go. One has to go. WhatsApp, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. Let me see my options. I think Instagram. I don't care. Uh, uh, Instagram, maybe TikTok. Instagram and TikTok. Maybe I would just have to deal with WhatsApp and YouTube. Yeah. Yeah, for me, I think Instagram and TikTok gone. First of all, they don't pay creators. Even if you post a video from African country on TikTok, you will never make any money. So okay. When it comes to like scrolling on TikTok, uh, I think it's just a distraction, to be really honest. For example, today I was scrolling on TikTok for hours. Then I'm like, let me just, you can waste the whole day scrolling on TikTok, and it's a bunch of, okay, and I'm not saying YouTube is a bunch of sense, but I feel like YouTube, you can even use it to learn some skills sometimes. You can use it. I think YouTube is way more productive, in my opinion. Okay, guys, welcome to the live stream. My good name is Omboy. First of all, we're just warming up here and there, but I have a bunch of questions, guys. You better not miss out. First of all, let's do okay, let me see. Keep YouTube. I don't care about the rest. But with WhatsApp, that's how you're able to reach people. That's how you're able to contact people and stuff. YouTube. Ezra, how are you doing, Ezra? YouTube is the best, okay? I think most men will say YouTube is. I feel like most men are on YouTube and maybe Facebook. Okay, I feel like Facebook is the best if you are a creator and you're posting things there. But if you're just there for absolutely no reason, it's just a place that keeps you hooked to people who you've known 20 years ago, people who from your childhood. So personally for me, I don't even have Facebook. But I hear that like if you want to be a creator, if somebody was saying that like people are sleep like Facebook pays is one of the best apps that you can maybe do some work and get paid. Yeah, Alvin says, I agree that YouTube has more angles to use, more information. Okay, yeah. And also, I feel like, honestly, this is just my favorite. I feel like, also the fact that YouTube has the long form content, because on TikTok, I just feel like, or on other apps, I feel like you get the shallow version of people, and that's why, for example, on Instagram, that's why you just feel like pressured. You feel pressured because you're just seeing somebody's. For example, if I record myself a little bit, I'm just recording the highlights to post on Instagram because you're not allowed to post something long. But with a YouTube video, for example, I told you guys that I'm going to record the place where I grew up in, how we used to live. Okay, that's only a video that you can understand in depth if you watch a long video. Doma says, my internet at home is very good. Kenya, my superpower. Germany, I don't have Instagram, Facebook, or TikTok. Oh wow. Okay, so you only use YouTube. Interesting. Okay, the story song says, I am not on Facebook or Instagram. So what's your reason? Facebook. Okay, what's your reason for not being on Facebook or Instagram? Personally, okay, Instagram, I feel like the fact that I'm growing this platform, the YouTube thing, some people might want to maybe like message me or stuff, so that's why I keep the Instagram. But honestly, Facebook, it just kept me looped or like hooked to people that does not really matter, like you're somebody you grew up with, like people that you've lost contact with for absolutely no reason. Yeah. Okay, let me see. Okay, so because we're already talking about that, what's the fakest platform ever when it comes to social media, in your opinion? Okay, also you guys can also ask me questions in regard to like growing up in Kenya, maybe personal and all of that. You can ask me anything. I have to tell you guys, when I started posting here, I thought that I'm too real to even be like for even somebody to enjoy even watching me, you know, because honestly I don't know how to fake things. For example, like if I am to like look for perfectionism, sometimes I film long videos for posting here on YouTube, and then when I'm editing I end up getting rid of all the video because all of it I'm like, God, this is disgusting, this is disgusting, like who will want to see this? You know, I just think that like my life is not all of that for people to want to see, which is why I think if I was to post my life on Instagram, I feel like nobody would watch because everybody wants the highlights, you know. um Dasel Mosisa, hi, good to see you. Ash says Instagram, since TikTok is already banned here. So there are countries where you guys don't use you guys don't use TikTok. Which country? But how are those people that I am seeing posting from the US? I always see videos. What do they use to post? As is Instagram fake because people flex fake lifestyle. They want to look good in front of people. Honestly. And I think you can fall for that, especially when it comes to relationships. You're just like, oh my God. Yeah? That person's husband have already bought them a Jeep. Okay? That person have he have bought her a G-Wagon, and you're here, you just gifted me some flowers. Like, are you even serious? Like, honestly, it's literally pressure over pressure over pressure, honestly. Okay, even me, for me, I think I feel like the fakest, you know. Let me finish typing the question. God, I need a desk because my hand is really getting tired from lifting this laptop every day. Okay, Alvin John says you just have a positive aura. That is refreshing to see. Okay, maybe you guys are here for the aura, because honestly I don't think I have anything interesting to hook somebody up. Like, honestly, I am even surprised, like, lately, because I think I've been getting a lot of people here. I don't know, maybe the algorithm have been suggesting me to a lot of people, but honestly, I kid you not, I have been wanting to like post long videos because of course that's the easier way to get monetized. But like I end up editing the whole video and I end up with just a clip of 2 minutes, and then I'm like, because I don't think I'm all that. Okay, no, I think when it comes to me as a person, I think I'm all that. But when it comes to me posting live and versus what I see other people posting, God, not that interesting. Anyway, thank you for the compliment, Alvin. Ash says, even when they are Tesla, they want to look like Bugatti. Be Tesla, but don't act like Bugatti. Okay? Oh God. Okay, and especially I think if you're especially people in relationships and no, not relationships, married people, okay? I feel like getting relationship advice from social media can also be a fail, because people are just telling you stuff that you want to hear. That's it. If I come here and then I be real with you, or I'm just telling you real life stuff, assuming I was married, but I'm not, okay? Assuming I was married, and I'm telling you, I'm just gonna say what you want to hear. Because if I tell you the reality, maybe you give me your scenario, maybe we are doing a little bit of confessions. You give me your scenario, and then I tell you, oh girl, you're the one on the wrong. Okay, will you want to hear that? No, you will exit. But if I tell you, oh my God, that guy is really, you know, so. Yeah, Doma says, I also like to keep things a bit private. I don't feel the need to open up to the whole world, but I do have WhatsApp. I do have WhatsApp, Telegram, Imo, and Signal. Okay? Yeah, honestly, me too. Like, honestly, me too. That's why I don't make a good content creator, or like a good, I would not make a good public figure, because honestly, there are so many things that happen sometimes in my life that I could literally video for clicks. For example, right now, if I start like recording my relationship with my Black American man, I know most people would be hooked, but I just don't feel the need. Like, I just don't feel the, what is it called? Like, some things are just meant, you know. What if now? Okay, and I'm not saying that's what happens, and then you post them, and then you guys go your separate ways. Like, how do you move from that? She's just a lot. All platforms are fake. Keep it private, okay? Ooh, that's a good one. But see, if we were to keep it private, then there wouldn't be entertainment. Okay, but I think I've seen people who overshare on these platforms, like, yeah. Uh-huh. HD Tunifield says, hi, beautiful. Hi to you. Good to see you. Ash says, I also don't like sharing much on public. I only have a creator account on Insta, which is about to reach 50K. Telegram channel about to reach 5K. And my old Facebook account just there for memories. Okay. Alvin just says, keep it private. Okay. So because we are already talking about this, do you guys think that, like, does the internet help? Does it do more damage than it helps? Okay, so okay, so does it do more damage than it helps? Because we're already talking about this. Like, is it that important? Like, is it that important to have internet? Okay, first of all, I appreciate internet because through internet you guys will get to know each other and stuff like that. Through internet people have found love. Through internet people, there's a lot of things that people are able to do through internet. But is it, I feel like, does it do more damage or than help? I don't like it when pictures of me are swapped among the women. Are you sure? Are you sure you don't like that, or you're like, oh my god? Okay. Honestly, unpopular opinion. This is unpopular opinion. I feel like social media, and also things like, let's say, pornography and all of that, they make people not to even appreciate real life. Okay, you're just over there. You want to see something. Of course, you tune into whatever. Maybe I'm not supposed to say that here. I don't know. So maybe you tune into whatever, and then you just have a good 2 minutes, and that's it. I just feel like it makes us not to appreciate real life. Okay. Alvin says Netflix, Amazon, and Apple TV has plenty of entertainment. It's funny you say that because I honestly think that I have a question like that coming up. Let me check. Okay, the thing was, never use social media again or never watch TV again. Okay, never use social media again or never watch TV again. I already know your answer is like you would never use social media. I think your answer is never use social media again. Ash says internet is important. Social media is a small part of internet. Okay. Okay. Because the internet makes the world like a global village. Can you imagine right now if you were to say everybody where you are and we are having this conversation one-on-one? Already, I can already see like 5 countries already for the people that I know where they are from. Click says, I am the real ruler. Alvin John says, dating apps and information sites are good, but Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok creates people with no talent. No social media. So for you would, I think you go to. So guys, the question is, never use social media again or never watch television again. And television includes Netflix, Amazon, Apple TV, Hulu. What else? Never use social media again or never watch TV again. And also this refreshing part, at the end of the day, have you ever tried, like, just put your phone away and just turn on a TV show on Netflix? You end up feeling more relaxed. But I think we are just addicted to social media. Dating apps, okay, this is unpopular opinion. Dating apps are useless. Okay. Dating apps are useless. Do you guys agree with whatever Ash is saying? Dating apps are useless. Why would you say that they are useless? I feel like they are not useless. So many people have found love through dating apps. So many people who didn't have anybody who wanted them in real life have found love on the dating apps. Okay. So many people, honestly, maybe some people say that, like, people get on dating app to look for women in vulnerable countries. That's what I hear people saying, because nobody accepts them in their country or whatever. But honestly, I don't care what's the motive, but at least at the end of the day, they get to get love. Okay, let me pin this question of yours. Okay, not question, like, dating apps are useless. What do you guys have to say when it comes to that? Rocking with Cowboy says hello, good to see you. How are you doing? Ravan Maharaj says, yo, what's up? Are you from Nigeria? No. Do I look Nigerian? The first person to ever ask me if I'm from Nigeria. Really. Okay, dating apps are useless. No, for me, I don't think so. I don't think dating apps are useless. Maybe that's just me. Okay, let's move on to real questions. But you guys can keep typing on the topic. Mhm. Okay, is saving? Do you guys feel like saving is better than investing? Okay, saving money. You know, both of them is like something that's recommended. Okay, Lavan Mahaj. Then where are you? You know, I'm from Kenya. I'm from Kenya. I don't know. You have this like you're kind of like not asking nicely. I don't know, but I'm just from Kenya. Ash says if you want to date someone, maybe start traveling, see girls and approach them face to face. Most dating sites are scams. Okay, what if you don't have money to start traveling? Okay, and then what if you travel like 10,000 miles away from where you're from, and then you just come back and you haven't found anybody? Okay, Alvin says dating apps has its place with caution. Yeah, you gotta move with caution, honestly. Like I know so many people who have lost their lives to dating apps. Yeah, yeah, but what do you guys feel when it comes to like, you know, people, I think people also say that because they feel like uh sorry if I sound rude. Yeah, you kind of did. Okay, that's okay. That's okay. Yeah, I think for me, I see the what you're saying, that like dating apps are dangerous, they are whatever. But I kind of feel like if you walk with caution, you can find a good person. Because can you imagine without the dating apps, and in this world, especially in places like America, where people are just in their houses, not going outside and stuff. In the Western world, okay, in Africa where people are still going outside, I just feel like without dating apps, people can still socialize and meet the natural way. But in a place where like people are just not out there, you don't even know your neighbors. uh of course at work relationships are discouraged, you know. How do you meet people? Like how do you meet people? That's an honest question. Uh-huh. Okay, let me type the question that I was typing. Okay, so moving on, but you guys can still comment on the topic. Is saving better than investing? Okay, so I kind of your hair is so cool, thank you. Have you ever visited India? Nope, 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 never been there. Okay, is saving better than investing? So and maybe this is for those people who are financially educated. uh do you guys feel like saving is better than investing? Okay, saving is like where you just put your money away. Okay, investing is like where you take a risk with your money, you invest them. So which means at the end of the day, you might get more money or you might lose the money. When you save the money, it's like you could end up with exactly what you put down, but it will not be, you don't have the chance to have a little bit extra. As says investing is the best, but my question is, how will you invest if you don't save? Oh wow. Wow. Okay, how will you invest if you don't save? Okay, but no, I don't think, you know, see, I think those are two different things. Saving, you know, you can have money and then you just put it away. Okay, you just save it, you don't use it. But you can also have money and then you put it into work. Like you don't just put the money in your pocket, you have the money work for you. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, of course I'm not financially literate, I'm trying to be, or like I'm trying to educate myself. But that's why the question. Slow Burn says 25th Thursday. Okay, you're matching for fallen martyrs. Okay. Ravan Maharaj says, are you you know what, just start answering the question because you're now okay. And I'm not trying to be rude, but please read the room. Ashes, investing is the best. Now investing is not stocks or crypto only. You can invest some on mutual funds, some on equity, some on debt, some on insurance. Oh. Wow, 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 wow. Honestly, I think I'm financially illiterate, to be really honest. And I thought that I was financially literate until recently. You know, people have been talking to me so much, especially on this channel, about stocks, about, I don't know, you know, all these things. Like, you shouldn't just save money, you shouldn't just put money away in your house. Of course, that one I already know. Like, put money in your bank, put it into CDs, put it into saving accounts where, like, uh maybe open a, what is it called, an account where you get some interest, whatever, simple or compound. Uh-huh. Ash says, but before investing everything away, it's important to keep aside an emergency fund. Like, for me, instead of saving account, I keep emergency money in liquid funds. Okay. How about, like, you open an account, when you open an account in your bank, and then you have, okay, you have some liquid cash. Okay, maybe all the money is liquid, but you have it in an account where you cannot withdraw. You know what I'm saying? uh Slowburn says saving is equals to low risk, easy access, lower returns. Investing money equals to higher risk, less immediate access, potentially higher returns. Okay. Yeah, yeah. And you know what? I feel like the fact that you cannot access the money easily when you invest it, especially into accounts, because honestly, investing money in a business, you have to be really sure about that business. It has to be already that's maybe that's my mindset, and maybe that's what's keeping me poor. But even when you open CDs, when, if in case you withdraw the money before the date, like, they're still gonna charge you the 15% whatever. And you, so yeah, I think it's scary putting your money away. I think it's scary, but maybe it's the best thing. Access is my favorite topic. I'm doing my master's in finance, and I'm an investor since last 5 years. Wow. uh Ravan Mahat says, dude, invest on gold for now. It's the best as saving account. Where do you where do you get the gold? Okay. Ash says gold is inflated. Putting everything on gold, if you can't hold your nerves for a long time, is not a child's play, to be honest. Wow, you guys are really uh, financially literate, my friends. Sloban says, investing in stock is the best way to go. Mm. Ravan Mahaj, because after 10 or 5 years, gold prices is gonna go through the roof. Okay. Mm. Doma says, my money has to work hard enough to pay for my vacation in Kenya and more. Okay, so, but how do you invest it? How does it have to work hard enough? Do you put it in a bank account, or do you start a business? You know, there's so many different types of investing. You know, you can put it into like a business. You can put it into like a business, or you can put it into a bank. So how do you have your money work hard for you? As says, property is the best investment in my opinion. Okay, okay, yeah, I can see that. I can see that. But you know, sometimes you have small money that cannot get you a property right now, but maybe it's money that can compound and become something great. Probably Loris Pavlides. Why would you ask that? Hassan Ibrahim says hi. Okay, is saving better than investing? Is saving better than investing? God, honestly, whenever I ask you guys intelligent question, I get so humbled. I'm like, God, let me keep quiet when the when the intelligent people are having a conversation, because wow, you know, you guys know things. You guys know things. But I think, to be really honest, and I'm talking about myself. I'm not talking about maybe Kenyans or Africa at large. But what I'm saying is, like, out here is like, we are told how to just have a hard life. Okay, for example, uh our school system, or whenever we go to school, it doesn't prepare us for the it doesn't prepare us for us to be our own employers. It doesn't prepare us to uh it doesn't prepare us to, what is it called, to be able to work for ourselves. It prepares us to be employees. Okay, and unfortunately I don't think you can ever get rich, or you can never get rich when you're being employed. That's just the opinion that I've seen, because if we keep doing the same thing, then we are not gonna have different results. Okay, Ash says, I invest in equity through stocks and mutual funds. I'm investing in pension fund to secure retirement, property, gold, and debt. It's always good to diversify. Especially people who don't want children. You better invest in that pension fund. God, I just hope I get the chance to start doing stuff like that. Especially if you're out here saying, I don't want children. Who is gonna who is gonna clean you up when you're not able to do that? Okay. Kivish says, okay, welcome here. Sloban says to Ash, yes, real estate is a banger. Also, the government bonds. There's low risk and steady returns. Wow. Okay. Doma says, the question is about an investment in a lovely woman. That's important to me too. The question is about an investment in a lovely woman. That's important. Okay. God, honestly, like, to be really honest, I like that we are not always shallow here on the channel. Like, we have serious conversation, because, like, for example, finances, yeah. Okay, tell me more about the pension fund. Tell me, like, how do you start doing, especially if you're not employed, you're not into formal employment. So how can you do that without having a formal employment? Ashes, I prefer equity over bonds, though, but yes, nothing beats real estate. Yeah, nothing beats real estate. But you have to have serious money to get into real estate. I like Vasco says, did you ever visit Mount Kenya? No. I wish you a happy life. Thank you. You too. I wish you a happy life. Okay. Somebody tell me about the pension fund and all of that. How do you get into that, especially if you're not into, you guys, I think you're educating me so much. I'm feeling amazingly challenged. Okay, which leads to the next question. Ash says, I do it to save taxes. Like, I put a certain amount from my business on the pension fund. I don't need to pay taxes. Also, whatever return I'll get, I'll not pay a penny tax on that. Wow. Alvin says, you have to start okay, God, what am I reading? You have to save, invest, stay out of debt, and most importantly, stay employed. Wow, stay employed. Yeah. Wow. But I think I agree with you. The one, especially stay out of debt. Okay, I think debt can be, you'd rather have no penny. That's just my opinion, but I just feel like debts can be one of the things that brings you down. Honestly, you can't put any money away if you are always constantly into debt. Maybe even you are in debt buying things that are unavailable, like unrealistic. Honestly, I want to be a minimalist. That's something that I want to be. Like, I want to be a minimalist. Okay. And also, for me, honestly, to be really honest, that's why I'm saying that you guys are teaching me things here, because of course, me personally, I did grow up in poverty. So these are conversations that I never hear people having. Okay, so this is literally me breaking like a generational curse, because honestly, I've never had anybody talking about stuff like this, like, oh, money and stuff. How do you put money away? That one says having money is nice, but I don't want to go through life alone. Okay, so you also want to invest it in your lady. That's nice. I feel like that's part of your basic need, maybe. Ash says, sometimes I feel it's better staying unemployed than employed. I just paid my taxes yesterday. Okay. Honestly, like, out here, you can literally, I know you can literally avoid paying taxes. Can I tell you for sure, guys? Me personally, I have not paid taxes, but I know they will start claiming or anything because they look at your transactions or anything. But honestly, I have never paid any tax, and I know it's a problem because also I have not been filing returns and all of that. Yeah, in African country, let me talk about Kenya. You could literally avoid taxes. You could literally, for example, personally, I have a student loan. Okay, I have not even started paying that student loan, even a little bit. Okay, but see, those are this type of things that I'm talking. So now that's a debt that is looking at me. Okay, Sloban says, you just have to start putting small money small monies as early as now. The little you put consistently can prove to be of greater help on the coming years. Okay. Many people say that government corruption in Kenya is one of the reasons for the country's problems. Is that true? Maybe, yeah. Of course, there is corruption, but maybe that can be true almost everywhere. Okay, that can be true almost everywhere. But of course, yes, there is a lot of bureaucracy going on. If you can be able to give money for you to get services, it's easier for you out here if you have money to give away. Otherwise, you'll just be lining up and stuff. Okay. Next question. But also, you guys can keep talking about. We can keep talking about is saving better than investing. But next question. So that you guys don't get bored. Okay. Should you lend friends money? Okay. I know this. I know most of us have lessons when it comes to this. And even should your friends lend you money? Okay. Should your friends lend you money? First of all, personally, something that I don't want to do is to ask friends for money. I literally don't. If you ever see me calling you to tell you, oh God, can you please assist me with a particular amount of money, just know I'm on the edge. I have tried all options, and maybe asking for a loan from a friend is there, but I just try as much as possible not to. Ash says, who likes paying taxes? Sometimes I get angry and say, I don't care, I'll not pay, but my CA keeps reminding me that don't file, if I don't file it, I can't get loans when I need it in the future. Wow, that's it. If you okay, I don't know the rules here in Kenya, but wow, that's brutal. One thing that I know here in Kenya, you can get loans as far as you're not blacklisted. Okay. Okay, next question. Should you lend friends money? Okay. Yeah, and I know today is like kind of like a different, you're always here playing and stuff, but I like balance. We have a lot of questions, so don't you worry. If you're not interested in the money conversation, don't you worry. Wait a little bit. We are coming to you. Should you lend your friends money? As is nope. Until and unless it's an absolute emergency, don't lend money. I've seen friendships rupture over money. That's my exact thought process. This lady, she used to be my friend when I was in campus. Okay, so it was around the time that I had received my student loan. And then they usually release the student loan in batches. At least that's what I know. They release it in batches, so which means my batch came before hers. Okay, so I had received my money and she had not received hers. So she was like, okay, boy, you can lend me a particular amount of money. It was not small money to me. I'm a student, so it was not small money. And then I'll give you back when my student loan comes out or whatever. I was like, okay. It's also a good way for me to save my money so that I don't misuse all of it. I gave it to her. Oh my God, our friendship ended right there, and then I think that's the worst mistake that I did, because she was literally a good friend. I liked her. I liked her story. We had so much in common. Yeah, we did have so much in common. But let me tell you, that money made us never to speak again. Really, yeah, that was it, and that was where I was like, okay, I think no, that's deep. You shouldn't. CJ says, hello, good morning to you. How are you doing? Welcome to the live stream. Okay, joining into the conversation. Should you lend friends money? Oh God. Doma says, trust is good, but verification is better. Only immediate family. Okay. I think something else that maybe we can be doing so that we can avoid breaking friendships. Let's say I call you and I'm like, okay, I need you to lend me $100. Okay, that's the amount of money that I need you to lend me. Okay, just ask yourself, how much money are you willing to lose? Okay, and then when you ask yourself that, then maybe you are like, okay, I cannot afford to lose $100, but maybe I can afford to lose 50. Then you're like, I only have 50. Will that be nice? Will that be okay with you? And then you don't tell them not to return to you, but at the back of your mind you already know that you've given it to them, so even if they don't return, you will not have an attitude. So that's something at strategy that I have adopted recently. So if somebody calls me, they're like they need a particular amount of money, it could be even $10, and maybe I can only afford to lose two. I'm like, I only have two, will it be of help to you? And then if they say yes, I give it to them. CJ says, bad idea, friends and money. Okay, friends and money, it will end in tears. Okay, moving on. Would you date an influencer? Okay, Ash says, I used to lend money to my friends without hesitation. Learned my lesson. Now I changed contact numbers. Wow. Okay. Lord, I feel like sometimes we literally need the money, and then after we get out of the problem that we really needed the money for, then we are like, what are you paying? What am I paying you for? But I don't think it's a good habit. Would you date an influencer? Yeah, and we're not talking about like small things. We're talking about like people with huge following, like literally influencer. Um, so Tia Sinka says, hello, I'm new here. Good to see you. Good to see you too. How are you doing? Loma says, lending a friend $100 is no problem, but for anything over $1,000, you'd really want to think it through. Okay, okay. I just realized right now it also depends with how much is a lot to you. Okay, I think $100 here in Kenya is a lot of money. We are talking about almost 12,000 Kenya shillings. Okay, so but I can see $1,000. That's a lot of money. Oh my God, why would even somebody ask you for that type of money? Ash says nope, not dating influencer. Okay, let me pin the question. Would you date an influencer? Ash says nope, not dating influencer. If something happens between us, oh God. Okay, nope, not dating influencer. If something happens between us, she might not use her followers against me. I'll stay away from influencers. Okay, what if you really like her, like, and she's really a good person? When you get over the whole influencer thing, she's a good person. So she says, I saw your fiance on your live yesterday. I was shocked. Oh, how did you see them? I didn't know you were into white guys. Oh my God, now you're just playing. You're just playing. First of all, you did not see anything. Where did you see them? Stop. You're pranking me, right? Honesty for me, I'm not into. Okay, I'm just open. I'm into anything, really. I'm into anybody as far as it's human. But I'm pretty sure you never saw anyone. Okay, would you date an influencer? Would you date an influencer? I think it was end of your life. I'm very surprised. No way! No. You didn't see nothing. Where did you see them? Where did you see them? No, you'll make me rewatch the whole video so that I can see where I showed. Uh, would you date an influencer? Ah, would you date an influencer? Okay, guys, welcome to the live stream. My good name is Wamboy. Would you date an influencer? Personally, would I date an influencer? I don't think so. First of all, I don't like having a man who every woman out there is drooling over them, and not to mention liking and no, I honestly I need a man who is like behind the scenes. Okay. And Healthy Map says hair looks so pretty. Thank you. Oh my god, you guys have made me fall in love with this hairstyle. You'll be seeing me with this will be my signature look from now on. Even when I go to like get it done again, I'll just uh return the same. I have never got so many compliments. My apologies. No, I am not taking it serious, by the way. I'm not taking it serious. But I would like to know, when did you see it? Doma says, I've already spent quite a bit of money in Kenya, but I've learned a lot about the culture there and about the lives of the women. Okay, what does that mean about the lives of the women? You know, first of all, for you to travel to Kenya or maybe African countries, you really have to know that, like, especially if you have an American accent or maybe you're white, okay, the price immediately skyrockets. If I am selling this remote for 500 and I see you with an American accent, or I see you and you're white, this remote is going for 5,000 immediately. Okay, so that's something that you should know. Maybe that's why I think I advise people, when you're traveling to places where you don't understand the language and clearly they can see that you're different, go and buy from supermarkets where the prices are, what are they called? Where the prices are fixed. Ash says, does the braids get itchy sometimes? I had the scalps get irritated because of braids. Not with me. I don't get, my scalp does not get irritated with braids. Also, I do use spray on them. Yeah, it does. For me, it doesn't. It doesn't, but it gets itchy for some people. Also, it depends how long you have them. Ash says, does the braids get okay? Ezra says, someone can be reserved and private on social media, but can still be dangerous when it comes to cheating. Oh, somebody can be reserved and private. Okay, okay. I see that. I see that. But it's just like, I feel like when you're dating like somebody who is like an influencer, we are not talking about like small number of people, huge. Okay, it's like you're always competing for attention with other people. Yeah, Aleked says good morning. Good morning to you. Good to see you. How are you doing? Okay. Also, we have a question on the screen. Would you date an influencer? Okay, no, no. Okay, so the answer is just no. Wow. Okay, moving on. Next question. Okay. Loma says, I met my current girlfriend through a WhatsApp group where money was being collected for a funeral. Okay, and you're gonna be added into WhatsApp groups first of all. Honestly, and you just reminded me something. I wanted to like reset my WhatsApp into like, honestly, people are adding you into things that are really crazy, like adding you into wedding groups. It's okay if we are really that close, but here in Kenya, somebody just needs to have your number and you're added to a group for especially for weddings, whatever ceremonies. Ndikumanange says Angela from Rwanda. Okay, I love you, Sisi. Okay, welcome here. Good to see you. And guys, kindly like the live stream and subscribe. Unhealthy Mom says grief is God's most powerful Afro. That's random. Aphrodisiac. Okay. So did you message her first? Like, what happened? What went down? Jerry Hayes says, hey, I am from United States, Cleveland, Ohio. Oh my God, Ohio. I think I have almost now 10 people from Ohio by now. Welcome back, Jay. I think I've seen you here before, if I'm not wrong. Okay. Okay, moving on. Next question. What's the rudest thing people do in public? Okay, you know my questions are usually so random. What's the rudest thing people do in public? Uh, there's a lot of weird things people do in public, but what's the weirdest or rudest? Rudest. Okay, I think you guys who didn't join in to yesterday's, especially at night live stream, I did 2 live streams yesterday. Those who didn't tune into the one at night, you kind of missed out. I had a bunch of what's the most unhygienic thing you've ever seen someone do? Okay, I don't think you missed out, but you missed out on throwing up. Really. That's what you did. Like, I was reading real people's experiences. Why they stopped seeing someone because of them being unhygienic. Yeah, you should catch up with that video, guys. Um, what's the rudest thing people do in public? Oh, let's see what you guys have to say. Okay, so one of the rudest thing in my opinion is like when somebody eats something and then you're literally in public. Okay, you buy something, it has a bag, or it's like, let's say I'm this sweet. Okay, so I feel like one of the rudest thing people do is like they eat all of the ingredients. This is very common in Kenya. Okay, you eat everything inside and then you just drop the bag. Like, personally, what I do, I usually put my trash in my bag until I go home or until I find a trash can. Okay, so I think that's one of the rudest thing. Access, I think, speaking loudly on phones, um and yeah, especially that. But let me tell you, when you stay around black people, that's just a common thing. Like, I don't know, for some reason when we have phone calls, we just start shouting for absolutely no reason. I think it's a black thing. I don't know. Uh, yeah. Also, I feel like it's rude when people go into the movies with their phones. Okay, you're just there for a good time, and then somebody's out there scrolling and they don't have earphones. As is, when you're standing in line, especially the ladies will try to go ahead. But aren't you supposed to, okay, God, I'm almost missed yours. I'm coming back to you though. But aren't you supposed to allow ladies to go first? Okay, you're supposed to maybe hold the door and then wait for all the ladies to get in. Right? That was is calling yourself Superman and acting like a know it all. I really can't stand guys like that. Okay. I know what you're saying, especially the know it all. Oh God, let me tell you, I had a friend. Okay, so we were working somewhere, we were working together somewhere. So, and we used to like, oh, I don't want to give too much information because I don't want her to ever watch this and know she's her, but we used to work together. So bottom line, we were really close. Out of work, we were really like, God, so close, so close. But anytime we went to work, because she wanted to be seen by the boss, like she's working more, she's more intelligent than I am. Oh my God, she would just get so annoying. She starts, let's say, shouting, giving commands over there. She maybe commanding me and say, one boy, why aren't you talking to those? We were working at a non-governmental organization because, as I said, I'm a social worker and a community developer. So one boy, why are you not telling those guys to do this and that? And I'm just like, excuse me. But when we go home, we are back to just being like friends and knowing equally. That really used to piss me off. I says, Why should I hold a door for a random lady? I don't know, because you're there. Honestly, the other day I was going outside the building and there was a guy who was, I think he was in front of me. He opened the door and then he just held it, and I don't know him. I don't know who he is. He just held the door until I, and then he, yeah, I think it's something that men do randomly. I don't know for what reason. But it feels nice, like somebody just held the door for you. Okay. So the question is, are you a real gentleman? Because, okay, do you guys open doors for random women that you just met somewhere? Because I always feel like most men, but maybe it's something that's. But that was an African guy. He kind of just held the door. I don't know. CJ says, okay. I hate when people pass gas in public and act innocent. You had to go above and beyond to make me laugh. Okay, pass gas in public, but and act innocent. Don't you do it? Don't you do it? I says, I don't know holding doors made you. Didn't know holding doors made you gentleman. I think it's just something that I feel like as ladies we just feel like, oh my god, he opens the doors for me and stuff. I don't know. Do you guys, do you gentlemen, do you open doors or do you just only pass gas? Do you really open doors? Okay, Ash is saying that he didn't know that opening doors made you a gentleman. Okay, I'm telling you, when you open doors for women, they feel like you're a gentleman. That's just what I know. Or maybe from the people that I've interacted with, that's what they say. Oh my god, he's such a gentleman. He opens doors for women. If you Ash says, if you have hands that work, you gotta open the doors for yourself. Wow, that's brutal. How about for your missus? Will you be opening doors for your missus? Okay, she has to open doors for herself, and I don't have a problem. You have to understand, me personally, I grew up in an African culture where, like, I never even saw my parents being romantic or anything, so opening doors is something that's foreign, but honestly I like it. I like it. I like when a guy gets upset just because you open the door for yourself. No, I don't know. Maybe I'm just weird. Okay? See, not CJ talking about passing gas so randomly. Ashes, yes, only for the ladies I know. For others, I'm not a gatekeeper. Okay, no, imagine, like, let's say you're just coming out of the coffee place, okay? And then there's a lady behind you. Will you open the door and then just close it? There's a lady just immediately behind you. She's coming right behind you. Will you not open the door? Will you not hold the door until she gets out? Okay, that's just random. Ah. uh, okay, let's do another game. What's your biggest? The game is what's your biggest. I think it would work better if the thing on my phone is working, but it's still okay. I'll open the door for me. I'll walk out. Maybe she has hands too. Okay, okay, fine. Okay. Now next we're doing what's your biggest. Okay, what's your biggest what's the biggest scam you've fallen for? Ashes, I was a guy who gave up seats for ladies, but thanks to modern feminism, chivalry is dead. Okay? Wow. Ooh, that's brutal. That's brutal. Well, I guess CJ, do you open doors for your women? Like, okay, I am here watching Ash say that like it's not being a gentleman. Opening doors is not being a gentleman. What's the biggest scam you've fallen for? We're doing like a bunch of what's your biggest, but what's the biggest scam you've fallen for? God, I remember how I was scammed up to date. What's the biggest scam? So in Kenya we use something that's called M-Pesa. So what you do is like, I think it acts like Cash App, if I'm not wrong, if you guys have Cash App, okay? So it's an app that you use to transfer money, to send money, and to receive money, okay? But also in that app, they normally give you like a little bit of a loan. So it's like a credit card. You can spend like, let's say 500 more than you have, okay? And then you'll pay later on. So I was like, I saw somebody advertising saying that like, you know, they can help you to adjust your loan number, or the you know what I'm saying, like the amount of money that this M-Pesa can loan to you, okay? So they were going to increase money from 500 to like, I think 10,000. And I was in campus. I was like, excuse me? Okay, so I made the phone call. And then the person says, and remember, I only had 500 shillings left. My dad has just sent me the 500 shillings that specific day. So I made the phone call, and then the person on the other line tells me that I have to send them 500. Remember, the only 500 that I have. I have to send them 500 Kenya shillings for them to be able to upgrade their account for me. Okay? Oh my God. I sent the money. 2 minutes later, I was trying to call that number unsuccessfully, and I just gave all my money there, right there and then. Okay, the money that I had, I'm in campus now. I don't have any shilling. Not to mention my parents had already sent me the last dime that they had that specific day. What am I gonna do? How foolish can I be? Wanting more. Okay, I just felt so stupid because that money was just taken away from me, like taken away. Like I never forgive myself for that. Like, how silly can I be to think that somebody, an individual who is not the company, can upgrade my loan status? They can increase the amount of money that I can be able to be given. Like, but I was desperate. Like, that 500 was the last shilling that I had. Okay, but see, now I lost the 500. I could have used the 500, and that could have been food for like 2 or 3 days, or maybe 2 days. Oh God, let me read yours. Never fallen for a financial scam, but emotional scam, yes. Tell us about the emotional scam. Ash says, once I scammed $1,500 from a scammer though. Wow. That's a lot. CJ says, Cash App would take it out of your bank account. They did it to me. Oh my God. How do they take it out of your bank account? Okay, honestly, I just said Cash App because I know about Cash App, because Cash App, Zelle, I know Americans use that, but I don't know how Cash App functions, to be really honest. I don't like lying. That says the biggest scam, constantly ripping me off more and more because I'm a Muzungu. Okay, you know, and I told you guys, I keep telling people, you know, I feel like when Americans or like Europeans, you visit Africa, you want to be like, oh, I want to have the organic experience. I want to go and buy organic foods. My friend, just go and buy things from the supermarket where they have price tags. Otherwise, I told you, if I'm selling this remote for 500 shillings, and I see you there and you're Muzungu or you have an American accent, this remote, I was selling it for 500. This remote is going for 5,000. Right there and then, 5,000. CJ says, Cash App took that feature away from me. Oh my God. CJ says, I didn't know they had Cash App in Nigeria. My friend said they can't have Cash App in Nigeria. Nigeria, I don't. No, you cannot have Cash App in Nigeria, but you can send somebody in Nigeria money through maybe, I don't know, Western Union, Remitly, you know. You wouldn't be deceiving me, would you? No. No, I don't think so. I don't think so. Because I don't think Cash App works in Kenya. But there's other apps like Remitly. Okay. Uh-huh. Rodriguez Bonnie says hi to you. And I know maybe most people, especially if you're from the Western world, when you come to African country, you're gonna be scammed for sure. They're gonna welcome you to the what is it called? Character develop you. Character develop you. Okay. Okay. What's your biggest lesson this year so far? I'm just kidding. Okay. you just like you like making me laugh. You do make me laugh. Ah, okay. People say that they have been scammed. Most people say that they have been scammed by Nigerians. If you're Nigerian here, don't get offended. I'm just saying or repeating. Most people say that they have ever been scammed by Nigerians. So somebody from Nigeria. These people are just so smart about looking for money. Let me tell you, if you're out there being desperate, they're gonna welcome. For example, the story that I just gave of me being scammed. You know why they scammed me? Because I was desperate. I needed money right there and then. And they're telling me that they're gonna increase my limit from 500 shillings to 10,000. Can you imagine? And then I was like, with a 10,000 loan, I can do a lot. Like, I can survive the whole semester without having to call my parents. Okay, yeah, I think lesson from that is like don't be desperate. Charles says pat hello. Pat hello, what does that mean? Okay, guys, welcome to the live stream. Okay, what's your biggest lesson this year? It can be anything, silly, serious. Biggest lesson. Did you get your money back? No, they blocked me. Imagine they blocked me. This would have been like when I was still in campus like 3 years ago. I was so yeah. That was not a good experience. Actually, I had to go to my friend's house for 2 days to eat from her place. Like I didn't have any money because how uh-huh. Charles says my inner strength is that I accept reality as it is. I don't get into drama. I focus on what's important to me. I anticipate obstacles that may stand in my way. Good for you. Good for you. Wow. What's my biggest lesson this year? I think for me, biggest lesson is uh, not everybody who is friendly wants the best for you. Yeah, I wouldn't be seeing red if I were you. I would be seeing red if I were you. Okay, can you imagine? Like, no, I had to use my brain. The next few days, again, I had to keep calling my friend. I want to come to your place for us to do assignment or like for something, just so that I could eat. God, my life in campus, I struggled. Like, yeah. Charles says, remember everyone brings light and shadow, okay? Yeah. Zitolab says too, okay. So I think you guys are not a fan of that question. Like. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for that. And also, you guys consider subscribing. Charles says, the problem is that we live in an era where everything is designed to feed the ego and destroy authenticity. Okay. Okay, next one. What annoys you for no reason? Okay, what did I? Which question are you answering, Charles? Uh-huh. Sometimes it's not the people that change, but the niches that fall. Charles says, I can enjoy the little things. I don't wait for big events. I can appreciate simple moments. A smile, silence, and quiet evening. I choose what makes me feel good about myself. Good for you. What annoys you for no reason? Uh, there's a lot of things that annoy me for no reason. Lack of money. Ah, let me tell you, when I don't have money, I have this attitude. Okay, for absolutely no reason. Okay, I have this attitude like I'm just upset. Okay, I'm just upset. Uh, okay, I'm just dreading everything. Divan says my biggest lesson this year would be what you do is what you get. Like the amount of efforts you put is equal to the results you get. Wow, that could also be mine if I were to like, yeah. Wow, that's a nice one. Yeah, the amount, but it doesn't always happen like that. Sometimes you put a lot of effort and then you don't get anything in return. Yeah, just says momentum or your awareness of your own mortality helps you focus on what is important in life. Live life to the fullest and do not postpone what is important to you. That's a nice one. Okay, what now annoys you for no reason? First of all, Pastor AG say lack of money. When I'm struggling like financially, I am just upset. Okay, for no reason. I think that's mine. Uh what also annoys me for no reason? Okay, other ones are so personal, but maybe I would say like I'm just annoyed for no reason. Uh, you're the only person you can fully control. Be humble that you can lose everything, but confident that you can get it all back. Wow. Okay. The thing that annoys me is people you who control you. That annoys me is people who control you. Okay, but okay, people who want to control you, not people who want to control you or people who are controlling you. Okay, honestly, for me, uh lack of basic needs, that's what can annoy me for absolutely no reason. Uh other things maybe also, of course, I am a female. Sometimes I'm just annoyed for no reason, but other than that, like, no, I have to have a reason to get annoyed. I don't get okay. So finances. If you see me in an attitude here and there, it's maybe about finances. Um, Charles says the truth is we suffer more in our imaginations than in reality. Most of our worries never happen. Wow. CJ says definitely when the drive-through line is too long. Oh my god. Okay, that's a realistic one. That's a realistic one. Okay. You want to get your fat real quick. Can I get my fatness real quick? You know? Can I? Oh God. First of all, I want to, when I get to America, I want to try all the fast foods. I want to try almost everything. Okay, I want them to give me my fat real quick. I was saying that like in America, almost everybody. Okay, I did do research and I saw 70% of Americans are obese, are categorized as obese. And somebody was, not somebody, my partner was saying that that's not true. And then we researched together and we found out that it's even like 80%. 80% of Americans are obese. Outboard says, nice laugh. Okay. Next question. Mm. What's an instant sign that someone is a good person? The eyes are windows to the soul. Haha. Okay. What's an instant sign someone is a good person? Like, what makes you, when you look at somebody, then you're like, you know what, this is literally a good person. What's an instant sign someone is a good person? Do we really get that right now? Do we really get to tell if people are good people? I feel like right now, honestly, you cannot judge people by looking at them. Although maybe there still can be something that maybe they do unknowingly that makes you think, oh, this is a bad person. No, this is a good person. So what's an instant sign someone is a good person? Okay. For me, I think first of all, the way they talk, the way they handle conflict, that's what is everyone was once a stranger, and I think the only thing that can help to know character is your own intuition. Okay, how you feel deep down about this person. Okay, okay, and honestly, that I think that's a fair one. Okay, how you honestly feel about this person, like, yeah, because the smile, people, I would have said smile, how they smile or how they laugh. You can tell if it's genuine or if it's not genuine. But can you really? No, there's so many scam artists right now. So you 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 can never know. You can never know. Ugh, you can never know. So let's see. Imagine someone who has the skills of an actor in real life. Wow. God. Someone with skills of an actor in real life. Okay, because they make you think that's what it is. Okay, I was talking about yesterday. There was these characters. I really liked them. On the show they are married. Okay, they're husband and wife. Okay, and then I got to see them in real life, like their Instagram page, and they one of them is not even married, and she's I think 40 something years old, and the guy is married, happy with children. God, can you imagine that the guy was married, happy with children, and now I had fallen for that fantasy of them being together, like the way I used to see them on television. Ah, that was just annoying. Okay, CJ says, yeah, you can know people for years and decades and still don't know the other side of them. That okay, but sometimes there's something that attracts us to people. For example, okay, what's my first impression? Okay, when you first maybe saw me on your feed, what was your first impression of me? Let's start there. What's your first impression of me? So I guess it's no answer to that question. Okay. So when you first see me on your feed, what did you first think about? For some people, they are like, they are like, you're talking too much. For some others, but for you to be coming back every other time, you have to have Odd says mature calm demeanor. Oh, okay. Let me hear from you, CJ. What's the first impression when you first saw me on your feed? Because because honestly, I kind of feel like as human beings, we have that thing where like you could literally tell if someone is a good or a bad person. Or deep down, you just get this feeling deep down. Just she says good. Okay. Okay. CJ says serial killers have calm, mature demeanor when you get to meet them. Okay. Wow. But I think at some point they're gonna lose that. Okay. Don't run away from the question. What's the first impression when you got to see me, CJ? You as a person. Keba says hi. Jessie says, how are you? I'm good. How are you doing? Kebel says hi. When you join in, guys, can you like the live stream and subscribe? Bot says, also stay with me for a second. I wanna reach the watch hours, guys. So type anything. You know me personally, I like being honest. Oh my god. For those of you who have been here for a minute, know the type of work that I put into it. But honestly, I'm not even upset. I have been enjoying every part of the process. What boss says to CJ, not all though. Hassan Ibrahim says, hi. Hi, Hassan, you're still here. Oh my, thank you. Jesse says, I am fine. That's great. We are doing a bunch of questions. It looks like it's gonna rain out here. Okay, let's do, let's, what is it called? I don't know the English word, but anyway, let's do this. A little bit of stop the boring going on, because I feel like long form questions sometimes can be boring. So let's do a little bit of, I don't know what you call that. English is not my first language. Okay, let's do a little bit of, what is it called? Warming up. Okay, tea or coffee? Tea or coffee, and why? Tea or coffee? Tea und Kaffee. No, tea or the coffee. Jesse says, where are you broadcasting live from? Kenya. I am Kenyan. You know, before I started doing these live streams, I never knew that like people would not just look at me and know that I'm Kenyan. Like, I thought that anybody could tell that I was Kenyan, but seems like there's a lot of black people out there. Speak Spanish, German. Tea or the cafe? Tea or the cafe? Tea or coffee? Let's do a little bit of warm-up. Tea or coffee? Personally, tea or coffee? I think tea. Okay. Why? Because I feel like tea is also cheap out here. To be really honest, you know, sometimes I only get myself coffee, like spoiling myself. So tea is easy to make at home. It's more cheaper when you buy from a restaurant. So my answer is tea. Speak Spanish. Hola. I thought you were Nigerian. Wow. I think you're now the second person to say that. People always think that I'm South African. Nigerian. Why Nigerian? I don't think. No, first of all, like, I think the Kenyan accent is way different from the Nigerian accent. To start with, like, Kenyan accent very different from Nigerian. I also feel like physical structures so different. I feel like, yeah. Do you guys agree with me? Okay. Or maybe because when people just see black people, they think Nigeria. I don't know. Oh god, this laptop is too heavy for me. Outbot says, I like various types of tea. When it comes to I like various types of tea. When it comes to coffee, I only like latte or cappuccino. Okay. Mm. So your answer is tea. I think we do. Okay. When it comes to coffee, I think I also like latte or cappuccino. You know, also first of all, like I have very little knowledge about. I have very little knowledge about. Okay, I have very little knowledge about coffee. Actually, so, oh God, you guys are gonna think that. Okay, how do you call when you get coffee? How do you call espresso? Okay, you know I thought espresso. So God, this is really stupid. There's a time that I ordered coffee, and then it was a small tin, and then I wanted espresso, but I didn't know what espresso was. So and then it showed up, it was just a concentrated coffee with no any sugar in it, and then it was just a little bit, and then I was like, the delivery person had poured the coffee, okay, just to realize that that's what espresso is supposed to be. Honestly, I have very zero or little knowledge about coffee, okay. I was so ashamed when I realized what it is. Like espresso is that like concentration like like a shot. That's like a shot of alcohol. Okay, you know what? I was so embarrassed. Like I was even causing problems, telling Uber like, oh, this delivery person like poured my coffee. And then I was like, and then it was so expensive. It was like double the price of the regular, like double the price. I was like, oh my God. Okay. God, talk about embarrassment. God, I know you can even feel secondhand embarrassment for me. Output says, what are you doing? We're just here having a good time, asking questions. Yeah, that's what we are doing. Okay, God, talk about secondhand embarrassment. Like, woo, secondhand embarrassment. I know you guys, please support me on how do you want to be supported? God, honestly, it's really what is it called? Outward says it's all good. No, no. Honestly, that's why. Honestly, some people say stuff here on the channel, and then I'm just like, you know what? I'm not gonna lie. I don't know what that means. You know, because I think this. I have more power when I say that I don't know something than pretending like I know, and then you ask me a question, and it doesn't make sense to me. Okay, so that's just my thought process. That's why I keep saying if I don't know something, I just don't know. Every day is a learning day. Yeah, that's what it is. Okay, next question. Guys, welcome to the live stream. My good name is Omboy. Proverb says, I have 32 subscribers, but I want to reach 50 so that I can stream live. I'm a subscribe to your channel. I'm a subscribe to your channel. Yeah, I think personally I never thought about streaming until I was past 50 people. Okay. Your channel is called Proverb G7K. Okay. Okay. Have you ever sent message to the wrong person? Have you ever sent message to the wrong person? You know what? Also, something else that I would tell you: make a lot of shorts. Okay, just do a random thing and post a short. People watch short, like you know, people subscribe so much from shorts. That's something that I honestly, you can post shorts, and then after you get the number that you just stop posting shorts, because honestly shorts do not shorts watch hours are not counted towards monetization. They're not counted unless we, yeah, post some shorts. Okay, now this is interesting. Have you ever sent message to the wrong person? Outbot says true, like I just subbed you today. Now same way. Okay, through shorts. So how did you get to see how did my channel show up on your feed? Was it through shorts? Was it through whatever? Okay, yeah, I would tell you to post shorts. Okay, have you ever sent a message to the wrong person? Have you ever sent message to the wrong person? Maybe you were just drunk and then, you know, there was somebody who said, I was listening to an episode about scenarios or what people usually do. There was this guy that a dirty text, a dirty text that he was supposed to send to his girlfriend. He sent it to his mother. Oh my God! How do you undo that? How do you undo that? Have you ever sent a message to the wrong person? Have you? Okay. First of all, you guys share yours so that I can see if I'll share mine. Have you ever sent message to the wrong person? Okay, I think sharing message or sending messages to the wrong person is not bad as far as they are not nasty and sexual. Okay, personally, I think for personally the answer is no. But I have found myself typing in the wrong person's text message. Like I'm supposed to text somebody and then I'm typing on somebody else's. God, that can be one of the worst things. Versus hi mom. That sounds weird. But hi to you, good to see you. How are you doing? Also guys, I would literally request you guys after the show, maybe you can watch you can leave a comment on the comment section. I think any publicity or like any comment, it makes the algorithm to push. God, who talks like that way? To push the channel to more people. Okay. How long have you been on here today? How long have I been on here today? Right now, just 1 hour 43 minutes. But remember, I'm going to be streaming at night. I'm going to stream at night. Yesterday I streamed for 4 hours at night. 4 hours. Can you recommend a movie? I would recommend I Will Find You on Netflix. But that's not a movie, it's a series. But if you have not watched I Will Find You, definitely go watch I Will Find You. And then tomorrow or maybe later on, tell me how you like it. Yeah, that's one that I can recommend. Outbox is Mr. Fantastic Fox. Is it on Netflix? Yeah, I Will Find You. It had me on the edge of the seat. I was like, the whole time. Okay? Yeah. TC Reed says hi. Hi, good to see you. Outbox says not sure, but nice movie. Okay. Okay, so let's do a little bit of fight me in the comment. Okay, I'm gonna say something and then so you'll say if you agree or not. Football is overrated. I know I'm about to start a fight here. Football is overrated. Okay, fight me in the comments. Football is overrated. Okay, and ask me like. Okay, football is overrated. Okay, I think most men don't really enjoy football. Okay, hear me out. I feel like most men don't enjoy football, but because you're a man and you're supposed that proves that you're masculine. Uh, that's why most men don't even enjoy football. They just watch or they just get into it because they're supposed to. That's what they're supposed to because they are men. Okay, and then maybe along the way they kind of start liking it. But I honestly feel like most people don't watch football because they want to. It's just because you're supposed to know what's happening in football as a man. Yeah, football is overrated. You had me. Another one. Uh, Reality TV is fake. Uh, Dua, Dwa, oh God, you have such a beautiful, but it's so difficult to pronounce name. Hello, hello from Australia, girl. To you, good to see you. How are you doing? Reality. Okay, so fight me in the comments. Reality TV is fake. Okay, fight me in the comments. I said football is overrated. I think most men do not even enjoy football in reality. You just act like you like it because you're supposed to, or that's at least what you're told to do. As a man, you're supposed to like football. Reality TV is fake. Outboard says reality TV is definitely fake. Let me tell you, when I started, I'm so much into reality TV. Like when a reality show comes out, I usually drop everything that I have going on just to watch the reality TV. Honestly, in the beginning, I thought it's real until these people come out and say that like the producers tell you what to do. They tell you, oh, we need a kissing scene from you guys, and that happens. Okay, but just think about that. I used to drop anything like this reality TV. This is their reality. Okay. Uh-huh. Nobody disagrees with football is overrated. It's super staged. Yeah. Like even if, and then somebody, I heard somebody says that like even if you, let's say you're doing a reality show, for example, Love is Blind, okay, and you have not gotten comfortable with like kissing each other, they're gonna maybe like, we need a kissing scene from you guys, like push you to kiss. Ramitriki Shah official says, how are you today? I'm good. How are you doing? Good to see you. Oh, my friend, Sadak Khantu. Guys, I think you should catch up with yesterday's live stream, especially the one I tried. We talked about a lot to do with space, and Sadak Khantu was part of the conversation. Okay, so many things to do with planets. How are you doing? How are you doing? Rachiki says, where are you from? I'm from Kenya. Uh, okay, and we are doing something. Fight me in the comments. I said football is overrated, and nobody is saying something about that. So you guys really don't like football. I am from Kenya. Okay, that's good. That's good. Okay, I'm about to read yours. Sadak Kantu, my good friend. Uh-huh. Sadak Kantu says, speaking of football, I know it might even look ridiculous that people are getting physical traumas for a ball. But in football, people bet a lot of money. It's like a safer version of war. Okay, so people are not watching football because they really want to watch football. People are like so much into football because they are betting, like there's betting apps. Okay, I can see that because I used to bet. There's a time when I used to be in campus, I also used to bet. Okay, I used to bet, but that's the only reason why I would watch that football. And then I'm just like over there saying, "Oh my god, you better not lose! Like, do you know you owe me money? Like, I put money on you guys. Why are you trying to lose?" So I'm just saying that I think football is overrated, and most men don't really like football. They just watch because they are supposed to like football because they are men. And there's this like quote unquote assumption: if you don't like football, you're not masculine enough. Uh, Ramit Krishna of you says, what are you reading, by the way? What am I reading? People's comments. I'm reading people's comments. Uh okay. Okay, Oddball says betting destroyed football. Okay. Uh-huh. Next question. What's something you've pretended to know but had no clue about it, actually. But actually had no clue about it. Oh god. I think this is only coming next to there's I just said here that I don't want to be pretending that I know stuff. Sadaka says, okay, why am I not reading from the laptop? Why do I have to lean over? Sadaka says some people bet money to get rich, some just to enjoy the show. Also, football players get paid a lot. They are millionaires, especially top players like Ronaldo, Messi, Mbappe, or Luka Modric. Okay, see, and I know that. I know the players make a lot of money, and I feel like also most men want to be like these players, and that's why they are interested in like. That's why you guys are interested in like looking as if you like the game. Okay, I think most men want to be like these players. Okay, you want to be like Ronaldo, you want to be like Messi. Okay, you envy what they have. Like these guys are making money off of their talent or like their hobby, what they like doing. So yeah, that's a reality right there. Okay, what's something you've pretended to know but had no clue about it? What's something you pretended? I think we always pretend to know a lot of things. Like for example, I just gave an example. I didn't know about the different types of coffee. Okay, so there's this time I ordered I ordered coffee, and then I know the difference between cappuccino, latte, and espresso. Okay, so I just went with the one that I thought it had a what is it called, an interesting name. So off the bat I just said, okay, let me go with this espresso, and then I just get handed a small shot of a black thing, and then I'm okay. Funny enough, I had ordered it, so it was delivered. And then I thought the person who delivered drank it. Like, can you imagine how silly can I be? Just pretending. Why didn't I ask? Okay, what is espresso? What is cappuccino? Why couldn't I just ask the question? What is difficult about me asking? Okay. And if you've just joined in, can you like the live stream? Also, you can ask me any question. You can bring up any topic and we can be here to converse about it. Yeah. But I find it funny the way like I think all of us, somebody at some point have pretended to know something and they really do not. Maybe sometimes it's even a meaning of a name in a language that's not your first language, especially like English. Sometimes you don't know what it means, but you're just there like, mm. uh, okay. Okay, before we get to that question, let me okay, fight me in the comments. I think those ones are done. Okay. Let me check the next question. Okay. Guys, welcome to the live stream. My good name is Wamboy. We have been doing the last one. If you're wondering what's happening, we were doing Fight Me in the comments. I said football is overrated, so that's what most people were interacting with. Prava says hello, hello to you. Good to see you. You're still here. You're still here. Okay. Okay, and if you're still waiting for me to like subscribe to yours, I'm going to do it right now. My phone is occupied and I'm also using the laptop to stream. I will. I promise I will. I'll search you and I will. Okay. Sadar Kantu says, is YouTube also included? Yeah. 1 million and you don't ever get to use you don't ever get to use any social media again. Okay. Yeah, 1 million, but you can never use social media again. Flower says YouTube table for healing to pay you. What does that mean? Can you write maybe in one sentence, please? What does that mean? Like? Okay, 1 million, but you can never use social media again. I say YouTube pays you. Oh, me? No, not yet, not yet. I just hit 1,000 subscribers the other day. So and then right now I'm working on the watch hours. Sadar Kantu says, I don't use it anyway except YouTube. But I think this would be the healthiest decision, especially for money. I think it's worth it. Especially for $1 million, my friend. Okay, $1 million, I'm out of here. Never hear from me again. Delete all my accounts. Done. Okay, $1 million. I think that's life-changing money. Especially out here, $1 million, my friend. $1 million is a lot of money in Kenya. That's a lot of money. Okay, that's money that I can even leave inheritance if I ever have children. Yeah, you know what? Yeah. I just tap out. Honestly, even try 500, okay, $500,000. I'm out of here, my friend. Like, no, see you. Yeah. Okay, what do you do so that you're not able to for me, I think I'm addicted to scrolling, especially on when I start scrolling on TikTok, nothing is getting done. Even preparing for these shows, and whenever I start scrolling on TikTok, I just end up showing up late, end up wasting the whole day scrolling on TikTok. How do you stop like that scrolling? Do you delete the app and just decide, okay, this is the app that I'm focusing on? Sada Kanto says, I mean, it's better to receive 1 million for a healthy decision than 1 million for bad decisions and ruining your life, reputation, or someone else's life. Yeah, I think that's a good decision for you. Like, and then you just mostly focus, because I feel like social media is a distraction. But you know what? I think YouTube is not a distraction, because on YouTube, especially long form videos, it has to really catch you for you to watch it. It has to be your area of interest. It has to be something that resonates with you. But when you're just scrolling on TikTok, like, you just keep going. You keep going. Okay. Yeah. So Yone City. Wow, I don't know how to pronounce your name. Says hi. Hi to you. Good to see you. Okay, this is a nice one. This is a realistic one. Have you ever faked being sick to skip work or school? Okay, have you ever faked being sick to skip work or school? Interesting. This is a realistic one. Sada Kantu says, YouTube feels more like alternative for television, and you can learn many good things. I personally learned English using YouTube. Really? No way. Oh no, are you kidding me? And how you're typing? Are you using are you using a translating a translating app? Like you learned English from scratch using YouTube? Wow, how? Okay, and then you get to practice it by like maybe listening to people speaking English or wow, that's interesting. That's interesting. See, and that's what I said today because when I started, we were also talking about social media and how it's ruined lives and stuff. But I was saying that YouTube is literally way different. Also within YouTube, you can even watch people from different cultures. You can even educate yourself on other people's cultures. You can honestly, wow, I'm impressed. I'm impressed. I'm inspired. You know, I've been learning German, but like I don't use YouTube, I use Duolingo. But I'm even thinking maybe I can start learning German with YouTube. Wow. How? I'm waiting for you to respond. Like, how did you do that? Like learning English with wow. I don't know if I can learn you I can be able to learn anything. Okay, when it comes to learning how to do something, yes, but a whole language. That's impressive. That's impressive. Sadaka says, no, I am writing in English. I got some input from music and video games as a kid. But on YouTube, I found an English teacher who has a really cool way of teaching and he inspired me. I learned it mostly during pandemic. I had a lot of time. Wow, that's impressive. That's impressive. See, that's what we call personal development. Okay, you might so yeah, that's what we call personal development. That's what we are talking about. Okay, and you know, I think all other languages are as important as like English can get or can be, but English is one of the languages that is widely spoken. Okay, when I come here and I speak English on this channel, so many people are able to watch me. You should see when I asked people to tell me which country they are watching me from, all over, okay? But if I decide to use my local language, I will only be exposed to those people, my local people, okay? So yeah, I'm impressive. I am so happy for you. So so when you're speaking, can you really speak well? Like, are you able to like pronounce words well? Which accent did you pick up by learning English on YouTube? Do you have like an accent? Is it your country's accent? See, for example, like because for me I learned English in school, I kind of have like a Kenyan accent. Okay, over the years, because of the influence of television and then also the influence of like my daily life, also I speak with my American fiance, so of course that has an input on how I pronounce words. But you Sadaka says, literally without English, I wouldn't have even found your channel. That's it. That's it. Maybe I would found it without it, but I wouldn't have understood what you talked. Yeah, and you wouldn't have stayed because at the end of the day, yes, you like me, you wanna know me, but at the end of the day, like there's a language barrier. Wow, wow, I'm impressed. I'm impressed. Oh my god. You know what? You just inspired me because I've been learning German. I might even use 1 hour in my day to like keep learning German on YouTube. Wow. Okay, what's one of the most embarrassing thing that's happened to you in public? Yeah, you have to really lock in to really lock in so that to be able to learn a language on YouTube, you have to really lock in. Guys, welcome to the live. Can you like the live stream and subscribe? What's the most embarrassing thing that have happened to you in public? Sadar Kanti says, I think I have a mixed accent. I wanted to learn American accent because I liked it, but also I didn't want to get criticized for my own accent. But it's not a reason for shame. Okay. Oh, okay. Let me read that again. I think I have a mixed accent. I wanted to learn American accent. I liked it, but also I didn't want to get criticized for my own accent. Okay. Okay. See, but see, like, see, if I was to learn English without the input of what I have learned in school, uh, honestly, in Kenya we do learn British English, but it's influenced by our local languages. Okay, how you pronounce words, how you put your okay, it's British English, but you can literally tell it's not British. Like, you have a different accent. Okay, I think I like British English, but I gotta say the American one is more like classy. Yeah, yeah. So Sarah Cantu says communications. Okay, Felix says, hey Felix, good to see you. How are you doing? What's the most embarrassing thing that happened to you in public? Sarah Cantu says communication skills are more important than perfect accent, and having an accent of your own that's what makes us unique. I like your accent, for example. It's nice. I understand you. That's more important. Okay. Yeah. I know that's more important. The fact that you can understand what I'm saying, that's more important. But I think if you move to a place like the US, the accent matters because nobody will be understanding you. They'll be like, pardon, please, pardon. But the fact that you're able to understand what they are saying, that's what's more important. Yeah, okay. Sadaka says we also learn British one, like, but I like American one, and I actually try to understand the British accent and other accents around the world. Okay, yeah, you know what? Because out here we get taught the British accent, I find the American one to be classy and to be nice. So yeah. Any British or American accent, especially the from the British accent from the British people, I just find it attractive, and and all of that. But also the American accent for me is like, it's like music to my ears, music to my ears. Okay, we have a question on the screen. What's the most embarrassing thing that happened to you in public? What's the most embarrassing thing that happened to you in public? So still today I'm going to also end this live stream, but still we're gonna meet at the regular time. I'll start the live stream at 8 p.m. Kenyan time. Okay, when I end this live stream. Hello mate. Would you like a bottle of water? I love it. Okay, and see, for example, I love it is like I love it. Give me that. Bottle of water. It's really nice. See, and you can't even tell that we are learning the same language because here in Africa we are doing British English, but how should I say when I want to say I want a bottle of water? We say water. Water. The American one, water. See? Wow. But also something else that happens here is like when you are, let's say, picking up, for example, out here we are supposed to be speaking the British accent. When you start picking up the American accent, people say you're pretending. For example, for me, honestly, like my how I pronounce words these days are up and down because most of the time I'm here streaming, which means I speak English the whole day, and then even in real life my partner speaks English. So which means like I mostly end up copying what he's saying, like water. Okay, what's the most embarrassing thing that happened to you in public? Let me think. There's a lot of embarrassing things that have happened to me in public, but what's the most? I think there's a time that I wanted to shake somebody's hand. I went like this, and they just straight up ignored my hand and kept walking. How do you lower your hand? Like, you're shaking hand, like how do you lower your hand? These questions, are you trying to make us to expose ourselves online? Nah, at least yeah, let's have some fun. Okay, that's the most Farting in public. Honestly, I have never farted. Okay, maybe I have, but it wasn't a loud one. Yeah, so that's not the case. For some people, maybe it's peeing yourself in public. As an adult. Yeah. I think for me the most embarrassing was that. No, but that shouldn't be the most embarrassing thing. I've never messed myself in. Maybe I have, but it didn't get to the point where somebody saw it. What? I'm trying to think. What's the most embarrassing thing that happened to me in public? Okay, let me try and see if I can read other people's. Okay, I'm gonna read some people's, maybe 2 or 3. Somebody said, I hit the gym after some pre-workout and immediately had to use the bathroom. After finishing up, I cleaned off and headed to the treadmill, where I ran my best mile ever. I noticed a few people staring but shrugged it off until... until, let me scroll down. Okay, so this is a red one. Let me read this one. In my first term at university, we were told we'd receive progress reports at the end of the year. I jokingly asked, do they get sent to our mummies? Everyone went silent. The professor thought I was serious and gave me a mini lecture about being an adult and taking responsibility for myself. I sat there, red faced, wishing the ground would swallow me whole. Okay, wow. Can you imagine in university shouting, do they get sent to our mummies? Okay. Next one, I was at a funeral and accidentally said congrats instead of sorry for your loss. That's bad. Okay, I was at a funeral and accidentally said congrats instead of sorry for your loss. I have no idea how it slipped out. My brain just short-circuited in the moment. Okay, let me read yours. Sada Kantu says, now this question reminded me of some sort of embarrassing episode I have experienced, and it happened to be quite often. Okay, says, that's one of the many reasons I don't interact with people much, to avoid embarrassing moments and saying dumb nonsense. Okay, can you listen? This person said, he said congrats at a funeral instead of so sorry for your loss. Okay. Next one. I was fired once by someone I actually knew before the job. It was completely unexpected. I didn't see it coming at all. I was shocked. I couldn't even speak. For some reason I still don't understand. I stood up, hugged them, and walked out. I replay that moment all the time, wishing I'd done it differently. Every single of it. Okay, let me read the last one. That's something I'd managed to say. Meaning the funeral congrats. Okay, and also maybe sometimes it's like you just don't understand the language. Okay, can you imagine he said congrats at a funeral? Another one. During an undergraduate public speaking course, I noticed one girl didn't speak that day. When I asked why, she said her asthma was acting up. My social anxiety brain, terrified of public speaking, blurted out, oh, I should have said that too. I don't have asthma. The look on her face made me realize immediately how stupid and insensitive my comment was. Wow. I think the most embarrassing one is maybe if you diarrhea on yourself in public. Sadaka says, what if you say congrats for your loss? God. Oh my God. Okay. What's the most embarrassing thing that ever happened to you in public? And actually, we are winding up. But guys, I'm going to be streaming from 8 p.m. Kenyan time, which is 5 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time. So convert that to your love. But if you're subscribed, you'll just get notified. Let me read the last one. I was at the airport once going through security when one of the TSA agents stuck his hand out in front of me. I thought he was being friendly, so I gave him a high five. He just stared. Turns out he was telling me to wait in line. I still feel red-faced every time I think about it. Oh my God. You know, especially they're greeting somebody and they were not greeting you, like they were not even interested. What? You just feel so like shameful. Okay, so guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me. I think you're gonna see that I'm gonna come back with a lot more, like you're gonna have some fun questions. Also, you can also, if you can also prepare some questions maybe that you like to discuss with somebody and all of that. Okay, I hope you had the last one. I was at the airport once going through security when one of the TSA agents stuck his hand out in front of me. I thought he was being friendly, so I gave him a high five. He just stared. Turns out he was telling me to wait in line. I still feel red-faced every time I think about it. Okay? And me personally, I went to shake somebody's hand and then they just didn't shake it back. Okay? So what you're gonna do is like, yes. So, Sada says, it's not that embarrassing, but I had teaching practice in school and it was paused and I needed to sit and I sat on a table. A teacher asked me why I'm sitting on the table. Wow. It's not that embarrassing, but it still is. Then she asked me if I am a student and I said I do teaching practice, and she shamed me for it because like a teacher sitting on the table. Okay, wow. Not to mention when you are a teacher, like you should be, because like kids sat on chair. Okay, like you should act like example. Tubuna Kaisolo says, cancer doesn't just affect one person, it affects an entire family. The hardest words I've ever heard were from my child. Daddy, is mommy going to die? No parent should have to answer that question. Oh my God, I am so sorry for that. Like no parent should ever have to answer that question. Sarada Kantu says, I didn't ask him to move because I thought it would be mean. Wow. You know, it's just embarrassing, okay? But where did shame come from, really? Tubina Kaisolo says, life is fragile. Love your family a little harder. Forgive a little faster and never take a single moment for granted, because cancer reminds us that tomorrow is never promised. Yeah, I feel like that's what life does, like all angles of life. Okay, yeah, all angles of life. Wow. What's the most embarrassing thing that happened to you in public? So what we're gonna do, guys, is we are gonna end the live stream right here, but I'm going to show up 5 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time, which is 8 p.m. Kenyan time. So get ready with some questions. Yeah, thank you so much, guys, for your support. Honestly, your time here means everything to me. Lord, you guys just showing up here even without knowing me in person is really a lot. To Buna Kaisolo, I hope you feel comforted. Hope you feel comforted. Thomas, you are still here. Have nice evening. Okay, see you later. What's the World Cup like? What teams are playing today? Anyway, I'm going to look for myself. What teams are playing today and what time are they playing? I think yesterday so many people showed up at night because I think there was no game or something. But anyway, whatever reason made you show up, I really appreciate every one of you. So thank you for being here, and until next time, bye bye.